silencio absoluto, condenados a muerte. En el altar de la codicia, monarcas ciegos atizan fuegos de ira. Sacrificio de tu aire, sacrificio de tu agua, sacrificio de tu tierra, sacrificio total. Sacrificio de tus ojos, sacrificio de tus hijos, sacrificio de tu vida, sacrificio final. Zona de sacrificio, la patria del negocio. Zona de sacrificio, la nación del suicidio. La traición se habla de pagar. La venganza se va a consumar. La tensión se puede cortar. La presión sube hasta estallar. Zona de sacrificio, la patria del negocio. Zona de sacrificio, la nación del suicidio.
Hi, this is Anton Reisenegger of the Chilean death metal band Criminal, and you're listening to The Bloodshed with a Vampire on Metal Messiah Radio International, and I'd like to congratulate Metal Messiah Radio with its 13th anniversary. Horns up!
Anton, thank you very much for taking time out for this interview. It's a very great pleasure to have you here, and I want to welcome you to the Metal Bloodshed with a Vampire on Metal Messiah Radio International.
Hey, it's my pleasure. How are you?
Fine, thank you. You know, Metal Messiah Radio is always your home.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Anton, I'd like to start this interview by congratulate you for the band's Criminal new upcoming album, Sacrificio. After 5 long years without hearing from the band since 2016, with the release of Fear itself, what can the fans expect from this new offering?
Well, I know it will probably sound like a cliche, but this is definitely the band's fastest and heaviest album. We are getting older, but we're not getting slower. Actually, the long wait was partly due to the COVID pandemic because we had to halt the recordings. This could have come out last year, but unfortunately things happened the way they happened. But hey, we're still here. We are kicking hard, and I hope people enjoy the record.
For those that don't know you, Anton, you joined Brujeria in 2016 together with members like Pat Hood frontman Juan Lepe and others. You also joined Lock Up in 2009 together with Shane Emery. I'm talking about Limp Death and Brujeria, and Thomas Lindbergh at the Gates, to mention some. How are things going with your collaboration with these bands?
It's great. Actually, one of the things that we did to keep ourselves from going insane during this pandemic was to write and record a whole new Lock Up album. That is done now. It's completely, we just turned in the masters, we just turned in the artwork and everything, and that will be released in November by the French label Listenable Records. Yeah, and it's sounding absolutely killer. You know, insanely fast. We got a new drummer, Adam Jarvis from Misery Index, Pig Destroyer. Also, we got now the twin vocal attack with Kevin Sharp alongside Thomas Lindbergh. You know, we got two vocalists now.
Oh, that's awesome. I can't wait to get it. You said the first single will come out when?
Pretty soon. We're just looking at the video. I mean, I just got sent a link to preview the first video, so it's going to be fairly soon. Brujeria, we've been working on a new record for years, actually. We started recording this something like 4 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, but it's finally getting finished now. It's sounding absolutely great as well. If you ask me, it goes back a lot to the roots of Brujeria, to the first two albums, which are my favorites anyway. Yeah, can't wait for people to hear it.
For both bands, Brujeria and Lock Up, we're going to be pending, to hear more from you, Anton. But we cannot go further. I mean, talking about Criminal before talking about Pentagram Chile. What do you most remember of the glorious years with this legendary band?
I don't know, man. People say glorious years, but those years were actually pretty precarious, because it was very difficult to play shows. It was difficult to get equipment. It was difficult to get your songs recorded properly. Everything was hard, It was like a totally uphill struggle, You had everything against you, the police, the church, the press, your parents, your teachers, everything, It was a very hard time, I think. But yeah, in hindsight, I could say, I'm nothing but proud of the music we did back then. I think we were pioneers in a sound, in a style, and it's been very gratifying over the years to find out that many bands, especially in Europe, were influenced by Pentagram. I've had nothing but respect from such a long list of very respected and high-profile musicians. It's great, and also it's great that we are back together. We are doing things very sporadically because I'm so busy with my other stuff, but we've kind of finished writing the material for a new album as well. So we should start recording that in maybe next month.
That's a very great news. Thank you for sharing it. I mean, I believe that this is a sensation, for all metalheads, for all Metal Messiah radio listeners. But continue with this interview. Anton, talking about Criminal, was formed in 1991 by you, rhythm guitar and vocalist Anton, and lead guitarist Rodrigo Contreras, making a big impact opening, by the way, for KREATOR on your first very show 3 years later, after two demos, and then completed by bassist Juan Francisco Cueto and the drummer JJ Vallejo. The band on the first album, Victimized, in 1994. How did you and Rodrigo decided to form the band? How was it back in the days with the band, and you still meet up with the ex-member?
Well, the way we started is actually, Pentagram disbanded in 1988, and I spent some time in another band called Fallout that sounded a lot like Metallica, and that didn't go very far. But I was always toying with the idea of getting Pentagram back together. But then by then we had realized there was another band called Pentagram in the United States, the doom rock band Pentagram, Bobby Liebling and stuff. So eventually I decided to start a new band, and I was approached by Rodrigo. He was a killer guitarist, and we started going into a bit more of a modern territory, but still very extreme. Yeah, and things took off pretty quickly for us. I'm always in touch with Juan Francisco, who's now the bassist in Pentagram, actually. The other two guys, not so much, but we are in contact through social media, and everything's cool.
Do you still remember how did you get signed with Inferno Records for releasing Victimized? That was, I remember, cassette, right?
Yeah, well, we didn't really get signed because I started Inferno Records. Okay. It was my label, We had done a couple things with Dorso, a very well-known Chilean band. And yeah, we weren't really sure what we wanted to do, so we said, hey, let's just record an album album and put it out there. And we did. And yes, the first edition was just a cassette tape. But then we got approached by BMG, which later became Sony BMG. And yeah, they offered to buy the rights to this album and sign us for a number of records. So yeah, they did. And they put us on MTV Latino, which was pretty important for us. And yeah, the first 10 years were quite successful, I have to say.
Talking about this record label, it's still going on, Inferno Records?
Not really, no. I wish I could do some stuff. I'm actually thinking of reissuing some of the stuff we did back in the day, maybe. But no, right now I'm involved in other projects, also label stuff, but more putting out licenses of foreign labels down here in Chile.
Okay, to go over the band lineup, I see there's a little change in the lineup compared to the 2016 Fear itself, where Danilo has replaced Zach O'Neill on drums. Please explain, Anton.
Yeah, well, Zach had been with us for many years. He joined around 2001 or 2002 or something like that. As soon as I got to Europe, he heard the band and he said he wanted to be part of it. So he had been with us since then. Over the years, he had kind of lost interest a little bit. He didn't want to tour so much. He didn't like the waiting around forever, because playing live is mostly wait for 10 hours to play 1 hour show. So yeah, he was not very interested anymore, and he let us know, and it was all friendly. And our guitarist, Sergio, he knew Danilo from back when they were in music school together. So he recommended that we get him, and we actually made him dive in at the deep end because we just gave him a set of songs. I hadn't even met him in person, we just sent him a set of songs, learn these and we'll see you at the show, something like that. And he absolutely nailed it. I mean, he's a great guy. He's just very positive personality. He's very creative, very enthusiastic. I just wanted to, take it from there. And actually the new record, Danilo and I wrote it together. We wrote it together in a rehearsal room as opposed to previous albums where I'd just written most of the stuff at home. There was a different dynamic, and he brought in so much energy, so many ideas, and just this contagious enthusiasm he's got, that he just wants to get things done and play music, and that's his main thing.
Anton, to go back to the 2016 release, Fear itself, that album presents a rough mix of thrash and death metal. This 12-track masterpiece even surpassed your guys' much acclaimed predecessor, Akelarre, from 2011. Again, a masterpiece, I must say. This album the band have brought out with killer tunes like, I still remember, still enjoying these, I'm talking about Downdriven, Animals to God, The One Who Speaks at Night, Waste You, and yeah, not to forget Carne Molida and many more. I mean, Fear itself sees the bands returning home to Metal Blade Records after having working with Massacre for the 2009 album White Hell and the 2011 Akelarre. How was it returning back to Metal Blade Records since the 2005 release Sicario, and then the reaction from fans and critics towards that release? I'm talking about the 2016 album.
It's been great to be back in Metal Blade. I go back a long way with Metal Blade because I had a fanzine back in the 80s, when I used to get the promo materials from Metal Blade, which was always great. And then they actually approached us to sign the band, to license the band. This goes as far back as our second album. They already licensed our second album for Europe and the United States. So it was just natural to go back. Some personal changes had occurred within the label. They just said, yeah, you're welcome to come back anytime you like. So we took the chance, obviously, and it's been great. They do a great job. I don't know if you've seen the new video we done, the lyric video, To Live on Your Knees. They put it out there. I mean, they got 1 million subscribers on YouTube. It's a great opportunity for us, and I'm really grateful for it.
I'd like to say hi, Nicky Law, Metal Blade, and getting me in contact with you, Anton. Yeah, Criminal will drop its new album Sacrificio through Metal Blade Record while waiting for a release. The single, Zona De Sacrificios, has been premiered last July 22nd, given the foretaste of the upcoming new offering this coming September 17, 2021. Wow, I'm crossing the finger. I can't wait to listen to this whole album. But in the meantime, you guys have released another video. I'm talking about this, as you just said, Live on Your Knee. If you don't mind, mind, Anton, could you please explain us a little bit about these two singles that has been premiered in promotion of this great new upcoming album?
Sure. The first one is Zona De Sacrificio, which we had a bit of a debate with the label whether it was a good idea to put out a single in Spanish language as the first single. But they and we decided it was a good idea because it kind of sends a message of this is where we're from, you know. We are a South American band and we're proud to be a South American band. Zona De Sacrificio has got a very critical lyric about the whole pollution and environment problem that exists in Chile, you know, with big mining industry polluting the air and the water, making children sick and stuff like that. And I'm not making it up, stuff that happens every day. It was important for us to write about that. And Live on Your Knees is the second single. It's the first song on the album, actually, the album opener. And it's got a more general message of resistance. It was also inspired by the things that happened in Chile in October 2019 with a social uprising, people going out to the streets and demanding more social justice, you know, because things are just not very fair down here in Chile, you know, for poor people. So I think the message is pretty clear. It's like die on your feet or live on your knees, you know, it's you got to resist.
Okay, to go back to the first video that you have premiered last July, Zona De Sacrificio, how was your work done with Carlos Toros of Abismo Films?
He's a great guy. He's very creative. I don't have to interfere much with his creative process, you know. We kind of talk in general terms about what we want to do. And he's very fast. He's very good at editing. He just presented like a draft to us of the video. And we just told him, well, we want this and this changed, a couple things. But yeah, he kind of nailed it. We've worked with him before. Zona De Sacrificio was the best video he's done for us. And we're working on another one now, which is going to be the lead track when the album comes out, which is going to be Sistema Criminal, another song in Spanish. And the video should drop the same day that the album comes out on September 17th. So keep your eyes peeled for that.
Okay, September 17, the new video, as you just heard, Sistema Criminal will come out. Okay, talking about this release date, Anton. Yeah, we are very close to the release date. How would you describe this album to our fans?
Yeah, well, I know it's complete cliche, as I said before in other interviews, but I think it's definitely the band's heaviest album to date. You know, it's our fastest, it's our heaviest, it's shorter songs, more to the point, and I think you will absolutely love Danilo's drumming. You know, for me, he's like a young Dave Lombardo, man. He's absolutely fucking great. We didn't shy away from our influences as far as paying tribute to bands like Sepultura and Napalm Death and stuff like that. But on the other hand, we also incorporated some new influence as well, new stuff that we hadn't really touched upon before, but maybe some dissonances and some a slower song, which is the Ego Killer, which is the ending track on the album. I think it's a pretty intense ride. It's not very long, the album. It's only like 40 minutes, but I think that's more than enough to bash people's heads in.
Yeah, 42 minutes and 4 seconds, Anton.
Yeah.
Okay, but again, I hate to compare albums. You know, I always say this. This is not the case of Criminal, but it's not every time that the newer album is better than the one before. But, you know, I think just like you said, it's just different ingredients that you add to this one that you didn't add to that one. But what's so different in between those two albums? I mean, besides having Daniels on drums?
I don't know, man. I think there is a very raw energy to Fear Itself as well. But I think we took our time to work out things properly this time. The mix is much better. Since we had so much time due to the pandemic, we really sat on it and listened to it and tweaked it until it was ready. Also, as I said, the way we wrote the songs, just in a rehearsal room, just playing, throwing riffs at each other and drums and stuff, it was more spontaneous, and I think you can tell. And I think those songs are made to be played live, so that's the main difference.
Okay, the 2016 album Fear Itself was recorded at Criminal bassist Danny Biggin's HVR studio in Suffolk, UK, while Sicario was recorded mix and master by Seba Puente at Audio Custom Studio in Santiago, Chile. What was the reason you decided to switch from Danny HVR studio to Seba Puente Audio Custom Studio? Anton?
It's a good question because Danny had done a great job, I think. But I think being a part of the band, maybe sometimes you lose perspective of the big picture because you're looking at it from the inside and not the outside. And it was very important for me to get someone, an external opinion. And Seba is a longtime fan. He's a very talented producer. I heard other productions he'd done. And when we started working on the record, when we started writing it, we went to his studio to do a few demos. And working with him was just so easy and relaxed. And the feedback was great. Eventually, we decided to record there. In hindsight, I think it was a great decision because, as I said, he really paid attention to detail in the mix. And we really tweaked it until it was right. Yeah, I don't regret it at all.
Okay, I see that the album is available in pre-orders in different formats. How are the sales going and what are the formats the album is available?
Well, the album is going to be available in CD format, obviously. And then we got 3 different types of vinyl coming out, which is gold vinyl and black vinyl and yellow splatter vinyl or orange splatter vinyl, which looks absolutely fantastic. I can't wait to get my hands on them. And obviously digital format as well on all the digital platforms like Spotify and Apple Music and stuff. And I think it's going pretty well, because I've heard from some shops who wanted to order one of the versions and it was already sold out, one of the vinyl versions. So yeah, it seems like it's going good.
And as far as you know, besides the different colors you already mentioned, are there gonna be still more color to be pressed?
I don't know. Suppose it depends on the way things go. If they all sell out, then I'm pretty sure the label will press some more, and then why not do other colors, So yeah, it's a possibility for sure.
I must say, a very, very impressive album artwork. Tell us more about it.
The artwork has got a lot to do with the social uprising that took place in Chile in October 2019. It was all over the news back then, and people took to the streets to just demand more justice because things are very unfairly split. While Chile is one of the richest countries in South America, the rich are so much richer than the poor, So there's problems with the justice system, there's problems with the police, there's corruption everywhere, and people just had enough of that, So they went to the streets and demanded changes in a way that it was a very, very difficult moment, I think, because there was a lot of violence from the police, violence from the protesters, and in a way it gave me a bit of a sense of desolation, but sometimes you have to tear down things to build new ones, So that's a little bit what we wanted to convey with the album cover. I contacted Gary Ronaldson, who's done some artwork for Misery Index and Napalm Death and stuff. And I told him I wanted something with a bit of a grindcore look, like World Downfall, something like that. Yeah, I think he absolutely nailed it. People love the record cover, and doing it in Chile, at least we're doing a pre-order with a shirt as well. People really go in for it because they love the artwork.
I must say, I can see here, it's very impressive. It's really tell exactly what the album contains. I can see the land there in the background. I see the police. I see the people protesting. I see Virgin here in the front of the cover. It's all based on what you was talking about this.
Yeah, absolutely. On the one hand, you have the industry and the pollution and the poor who suffer from that, and on the other hand, in the background, you can see a tall building, which is the tallest building in South America, which is in Santiago, Chile. It's like a symbol of the wealth, a symbol of the elite, and then you have the police like kind of protecting that, and in the middle, what you have is the statue of the Virgin Mary, which is on the tallest hill in Santiago, San Cristobal Hill. And well, she's draped in the Chilean flag in black, and also her face is a skull. I wanted to get that kind of feeling of despair and desolation.
For a band that originally formed out of the ashes of the 80s death metal legends, Pentagram Chile, the album highlights the benefits of embracing the band's origins. Writing and recording took place in Chile for the very first time since 1990. Criminal continues to prove that South America can create powerful death metal on its own terms. Seeing different bands are on the road already, Anton, do you have shows and tours scheduled either for end of this year or the 2022?
We've been talking about it. We've been thinking about it, how to do things. We would obviously like to do a big record release show down in Chile. But, right now, I just got back to Chile, 2 days ago, and I have to do a quarantine of 10 days,
Wow.
So obviously there's no promoter who's gonna pay for everyone to come down here and to stay in a hotel for 10 days just to play a show. So we have to wait a little bit to see about that. There's been talk of us doing a US tour as well. There's been talk of us doing some festivals. I think we'll have to wait until next year, to be honest. I don't see anything major happening this year, but we're gonna make sure it's cool. It's great because I think this album deserves to be promoted live, but maybe you just have to be a little bit patient.
Okay, seeing that the summer festivals are almost like a year away, do you believe that we will see Criminal on any of those big festival stages?
I hope so. So we were already confirmed for Wacken for this year, when they had to cancel the whole thing. I'm confident that we're going to go back on the bill for next year and also some other festivals. So yeah, we're taking it a step at a time. Right now, we're just concentrating on promoting the album as much as possible. So everybody knows it's out there, and hopefully that in itself will lead to us getting booked for festivals and stuff.
Okay, I'm looking forward to return back to Wacken, Anton, for 2022. Let's cross the fingers, so I might see you guys be playing there.
Yeah, as I said, I hope it happens. I don't see why not, because they actually approached us to play in the first place. So yeah, we're just very hopeful that it all will happen.
Okay, let's cross the finger, and we will meet this coming July, or it's the first week of August in Germany for Wacken Open Air 2022. Anton,
what can I say? I'm just really looking forward to it. Looking forward to actually for shows to come back. Not only as a musician, also as a fan. I would like to go to shows. I like to see some bands live. I want to feel the energy and feel the loud music. And I hope it all happens in 2022.
Anton, to end this great interview, the microphone of Metal Side Radio is all yours to thank whomever you want to thank. But before I hand you over the microphone, for those that really wants to lay their hands on t-shirt or merchandises, what do you have already available talking about this cover artwork for the new album?
We have a deal in place where we're gonna have most, if not all, of our past t-shirt designs available through like a print on demand service, which is gonna be available in the States and in Europe. So you can order pretty much everything from the first album shirt to the last one. Yeah, look out for that. And then obviously, we got the album coming in the different formats we discussed. I hope people enjoy it. I hope people get their hands on it. And what can I say, DJ Vampire, it's been a pleasure to be on your show. Always great to be on Metal Messiah Radio. Thanks for the support throughout the years, and I hope you spin a lot of our tracks in the future.
We are already spinning 24/7 your 2-track that you have released, Zona De Sacrificio and Live on Your Knees.
That's great. I'm grateful for that. I hope you keep playing our stuff, putting the word out.
Okay, to conclude this interview, Anton, anyone else that you would like to thank?
I have to thank the people who were involved in making this record, obviously, are my bandmates, first of all. Seva Puente, who is a great producer. He's a great friend, and we've become very close throughout the process of making this record. Gary Ronaldson for absolutely nailing the cover artwork, and everyone at Metal Blade, Nicky Law, Andreas in Germany, and the whole team who are doing a great job. Also, I have to say that this album is also going to be released in Japan by Trooper Entertainment, and it's going to be released in Brazil by Zaninho Discos, and it's going to be released in Chile by Noise Bangers Records. It's going to be available in many countries in different formats, and some of them have bonus tracks. So for those who are searching for rarities, there's going to be some treasures to hunt for as well. So yeah, I want to thank everyone involved in making it, and obviously everyone involved right now in getting the word out and promoting it.
Okay, Anton, once again, I want to thank you very much. But before we leave, I will kindly ask you to say hi to the rest of the band member for me.
Yeah, of course.
Yes, again, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Yeah, and like I said, I wish you all the best for the band Criminal. I wish you all the best for this great new album, Sacrificio. And like I said, I hope we can get in touch this coming July 2022 when we meet at Wacken for the festival.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it. Thank you, man.
Okay, Anton, so you know my address, how to contact me already. So anything you got news coming from Lock Up and Pentagram or Criminal itself that you want to update me, you want some support, promotion, please don't hesitate to contact us. That will be more than glad to do so.
Thank you, man. Yeah, as I said, the new Lockup album is finished and going to the press now. So we might be talking again very soon.
Yeah, like I always say, metal on. Bye-bye.
Bye, man. Thank you.